Morning, Chris. How are you?
Morning, Graham. Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, and thank you for giving up a bit of time this morning. Yeah, it's much
No problem at all.
appreciated. We just wanted to spend a little bit of time with you talking about the project you've been leading. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Around employee engagement.
Yeah.
We're all aware that you as a team presented to all of your stakeholders a few weeks ago, and of course that went very well indeed. So well done to you and the team. I wonder, Chris, if you could just give us a little bit of background information about how the project started, and indeed some of the people who've been involved in the project. Yeah, if we could do that first, that would be helpful. Thank you.
No problem. So we were brought together through the LDC with Graham. It was a small team that consisted of members from Ardagh Glass, M&H Plastics in Bury, and BSC Filters in York. The team members were myself from Ardagh Knottingley and Richard Woodhead from production. There was also Steve Perrin and Lee Rose from M&H Plastics and Alex Carter from BSC Filters. And together we had a few days together on different sites. Nissan being the first one. And throughout the 5 days meeting, we came up with employee engagement as our sort of key focal area, and that's what we chose as our project.
Yeah. Okay, Chris. Thank you. So, just in the terms of the time we've got this morning, we've got the slide there where you're very clear about the recommendations that you've made to the various companies. Could we just run through that slide and have a quick chat about those things, please?
Yeah, of course. So when we presented to the companies, we each had varying points of employee recommendation, sort of leadership styles, praise and recognition. We all did research around them, but these were the recommendations where we sort of came off the fence and said, here's what we think could work for all three of our organisations. The first one being effective job chats. So we did a bit of research at each of the plants, as I said, and effective job chats done on time, sort of measured out in the right approach, came out on surveys and stuff like that, and the research that we did as having a very positive effect on employee engagement. So obviously that was his first recommendation. The second recommendation was select engagement. So there's a video clip there, a link to it. And basically the video on that link looks at employee engagement from a completely different angle. All the research we did showed what a company can do to keep people engaged. This video was what you can do to engage yourself. Massively important to our work, and obviously selecting for that. So finding out what the candidates for a new role, what to tick, and how they're going to keep themselves engaged, and what sort of things we can do as a company to keep them engaged. We thought very important, and also it ties in with the other group that Graham took, who did a project on selection, induction, and first 12 months of employment. So it sort of tied in nicely with that. Development for all the first line leaders within the organisations. Here at Ardagh, we have an MDP, a management development programme. That all the first line leaders going on that sort of an insight into employee engagement and how effective it can be from the research we've done. Servant leadership. This was something that we touched on one of his days together. The concept of it, how it's a different leadership style to what companies tend to go with normally, where we're sort of leading from the back, from the bottom up, if you like. Again, we saw massive importance in this with sort of working as a first line leader myself, seeing that if you've got somebody with a problem, ask them to do it. But then if you sort of go to them and ask them how they do it and let them lead themselves, the outcome can be a surprise at times. So again, you'd be surprised what your team can come out with. So that was another point that we recommended. And then a clear strategy for praise and recognition. A lot of times the recognition can come and it can be a bit false or be a bit scripted. We thought if we had a strategy for how and when people were praised and recognised for what they're doing, there was a sort of structure to it. It would give it a bit more meaning and a bit more feel to the guys that are receiving it, that they know it's justified, sort of genuine in its receival, if you like. So they were as recommendations that we gave to the three organisations that we all worked for.
Many thanks, Chris. Chris, just in your own experience, although all of those areas are important, is there anyone in particular that you think will have more of an impact at Ardagh Knottingley than the others? Is there anyone that stands out for you in particular?
I think there's sort of two really, but the main one for me would be the development of all first line leaders. I got chose to, out of our small group, I got chose to lead this project, which was a massive thing for me. It was a bit of something to get my teeth into, if you like. And certainly I've learned throughout this little journey so far that development for all first line leaders around employee engagement, although companies do a lot and you don't always recognise what's classed as employee engagement, it was massive for me to sort of go through what our company already does and sort of learn where we could improve that. So I think for me, the development of all first line leaders and giving them an insight into employee engagement and engaged team can work much more effectively. So I think, that would be the one I'd pick out as being the important one for our workforce.
I suppose, Chris, really, if any organisation took that element seriously, then of course you could build in the other four elements as part of that development work, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Like I say, luckily when we presented to our company, the all recommendations got taken on board really well, and we got asked if we'd start to write a programme for developing the first line leaders.
Yeah.
So obviously incorporating all them recommendations into that will be something that we'll be keen to work on.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's excellent, and I'm pleased it was so well received. So thank you for just going through those recommendations. So just finally, for a few moments, we've been working with you for the last 12 months. As you say, you became project team leader, which was a great experience for you. What's this done for Chris Smith in terms of his development, his confidence over the last 12 months? What have been some of the highlights for you personally?
Yeah, I think being chosen as a team leader, again, like you say, a massive confidence boost. I'm not, although I can talk well in a group, I'm not sort of the most confident person. When it comes to leading, it's all pretty new to me. So getting chosen to lead this project was sort of a big thing for me. The confidence that gave me to then sort of go and come off the fence and give these recommendations to our key stakeholders, gets my personal brand out there, gives me exposure in the areas where if I'm looking to develop as a person, they're obviously key to my individual sort of success, if you like. Again, going on the employee engagement, I've sort of learned a lot about how our company engages its employees and sort of looking at it from a different point of view of leading a team. trying to get the best out of them. So yeah, it's been very beneficial to me. I think I'm looking forward to the next 12 months. Really, we're 12 months into this project, and I'm already looking forward to what else we can learn.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Chris. Well, as you know, we've got all kinds of plans in place to keep on supporting you individually and as a group, and we look forward to continuing that work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a big thank you for this discussion today. It's been a great piece of work. Clearly, it's started to influence people's thinking, and that's down to you and the team that you've been working with. Yeah. So many thanks, Chris. Yeah. And yeah, and that good work will continue between us all.
Yeah, hopefully.